I don't even know why I said that. Next guest, delighted, retired US diplomat and policy advisor for the Republican leadership in the US Senate, Jim Jatras. A very good evening, sir. How are you?
Very good, Jeremy. Very happy today.
I bet you're happy. Look at that beard. Honest to God, man. Have you been growing that until he won the election? Is it coming off now, or is it going to stay there forever, Jim?
It's going to stay there forever. I grew it in 1980 in Mexico, and it's staying there.
On a serious note, my friend, I've had you on before. It's great to have you here. Were you surprised? Did we all fall for the mainstream media? Were you? I mean, let's be honest. It's a landslide. Yeah. It's a landslide.
I felt the way I felt in 2016. My head told me that she would win. My heart told me that he would win. By all of the usual mechanics of an election, she should have won, especially since in 2016 they didn't see it coming. This time they did. And whatever steps they could have taken to avert it, they didn't take. Obviously, the economy, inflation, things like that. I think the rejection of the Biden-Harris administration was just so big that there was really nothing they could do to avert it.
And I think that's really interesting when you say of the Biden-Harris administration, because it was almost as if this woman who couldn't get on the ballot was happy to be part of a cohort that really hid from the American people for a number of years. I suspect that cognitively the president wasn't up to the job, probably a couple of years, elbowed him aside when the Obamas and everybody anointed her, but didn't talk about anything new. So for me, it was really obvious, although Trump didn't say it and I was shouting at him, not that he listened to me. She was part of the issue of why America was where it's at. And at least, despite the fact that his rhetoric isn't great at all times, at least he had a plan. At least he had stuff to say. That was the point. But maybe, Jim, they took some sort of heart from the United Kingdom, where the Labour Party just said absolutely bugger all. And the Tories were so hated, they got elected anyway.
I think there's a very good parallel there, and let's always keep in mind, Jeremy, this is still a very divided country.
Yeah.
For as many people that are happy today and love Trump, there are as many people that hate Trump and are devastated. That's why she was relying on thematic issues about the threat to our democracy. He's a fascist, things like that. These kind of scare tactics, because there is a base for that in this country. And look, it's let's be happy. The champagne corks are popping today, but now the real work begins, and the real question is, who is going to staff his administration? Personnel is policy. Has he learned the lessons from his last time around to put good people in rather than swamp critters? And that's the big question mark I'm hearing from all the people I know that have.
Well, I'm really interested that you asked that question, because everybody that's been on who is seemingly from America, who knows anything, has said that the difference this time is that he has a transition team that's already in place, hundreds of people, that he knows more about the whys and wherefores of political life. And you're right, it was a revolving bleeding door last time. People were in and out within days. Maybe there will be greater planning. I just want to put this to you, as a retired diplomat and a policy advisor, between today winning and the inauguration, he's going to be sentenced on the 26th of November. How does that work then? Is he going to be put in jail? Is he going to be inaugurated behind bars?
I think that's highly unlikely. The reports are that his legal team is trying to find ways to sort of get past all of that now that he's in the White House. And I think it's going to be politically impossible for them to throw him in jail, whatever the legal process is.
Well, just sack the judge.
I think those cases are going to go away fairly soon.
Do you believe...
Well, he can't.
Do you believe that he will pardon himself? Can he do that?
I don't think he needs to. I don't think he will need to do that on this particular charge. I believe it's a state charge. He can't pardon himself anyway.
It's really interesting. You're a Republican. You don't look surprised. You look pleased, but you talk quite rightly, and I think correctly, and the first person that has done today, about the impact this could well have in America. A lot was made, the build-up to this election. Oh, you know, he's going to say it was rigged. He's going to say there was cheating. He's going to go to court. Are the Democrats going to do the same, or have they conceded and accepted it?
I think they've conceded and accepted it. This is where something, again, Jeremy, that you might find this controversial. I think there was some element of the permanent government that saw that things were going out of hand with the Biden and Harris administration. They worried about the stability of the political order itself, and it was necessary to issue a course correction. I think the woke revolution isn't over, but we're going through a bit of a thermidor, perhaps, where it's going to consolidate itself and hope that he does not present too much of a threat to it. I think there will be a course correction. How strong that course correction is going to be I can't say at this point.
Any idea, just to sum up for the viewers and the listeners, President 2.0 Trump, 2025 onwards, what do you think the next presidency will look like vis-a-vis the first one?
That's where I don't know the answer to that question. Personnel is policy. If he's learned his lesson, if this transition team is controlled by the right people, yes, he can accomplish a lot. For example, take the question of the border. The border was in much better shape when he was president. But remember, he didn't build his wall. It was still leaking badly. We didn't have mass deportations. We'll see if he can manage to do that this time around. I'm skeptical he can do it, but I'm also somewhat hopeful.
Really good to have you on, Jim. I really, really appreciate you being part of Talk Drive tonight. Thank you so much indeed. Almost